Hello, you beautiful, beautiful souls who are born on February 1st. February 1st. If you're February 1st born, Aquarian, this is your birthday reading. Keep in mind it's still for entertainment purposes. There's a lot more to you than just the day you're born. But this is your birthday reading. Anyway, welcome to Colleen Tarot. Also, Aquarius by Aquarius. Both of those are my channels. And before I start your reading, I just want to be the first one to tell you guys that you're so beautiful, you're so needed in this world, and I want to thank you guys for being here, for sharing your time and your energy with me. I value you and the divine values you, and thank you so much for being here. That was crazy. As I am saying that, I don't know what landed up there, but we are under some crazy wind warnings, and the same weather that's affecting the US has finally made it to Florida. So I'm not letting that stop your reading. I still have a roof over my head, and I'm not going to worry about that. But I had pulled up pre-shuffle cards, and I had got the Her Joy Overcomes Gravity, which means there's something, and this talks about releasing, surrendering, and letting the divine handle it. I am going to put this back in there. So, and I feel like then when I pulled the pre-shuffle card of the goblins, I feel like the goblins is, related to stress, things that are heavy on your mind or your heart. So I feel like, I don't know what's going to come out, but I feel like it's going to be a lot about releasing something that might be sort of heavy, okay? And just trusting that the divine has your back, has something in store for you, better for you, or whatever that is, if there's something that's sort of heavy on your mind. Anyway, I will pull another card just to see what wants to come out. I will close out with this deck, and we will pull another card. And I hope you guys are having a great birthday, because you can. Happiness is a state of mind, even when things appear to be not great. You can still choose to be happy, because you're in charge of your energy. So let's see what wants to come out here for you, born on February 1st. February 1st, babies. Also, full moon. You're having a full moon on your birthday. So there's that. And there's a lot of stelliums in Aquarius right now, according to the astrology video I watched. Safe to fall. And kind of that's the same card that came out. The card about gravity, surrendering, that was about someone, the divine catching you. It is safe to fall. So we're gonna actually read that and see what it says. Safe to fall. Sorry about that. I moved the camera. Put it back here a little bit. All right, safe to fall. Card number 10. All right, so safe to fall says, just like the air that fills your lungs, you may not perceive me directly, yet I give you life. I cast a fine net of divine grace around all beings, through it only visible through the eye that sees from the heart. Sees through the heart. I'm so sorry. These are really fine print here. So, my net of divine grace will keep you safe, no matter how far you seem to fall, or how confused or disoriented or out of control you may feel. Fear of falling may prevent you from truly surrendering into my care, which the first card was about surrender. Yet, if you were to realize that it is safe to fall, my net of divine grace will catch you as you step beyond the edge of what you have known. I urge you to believe in what is calling you to take such a step. I tell you now, my wild, sweet beloved, the call is from me, urging you to open up to a bigger world now. Trust me and relinquish logic and control, and I will not fail you. So, only you know what it is that's troubling you, and only you know what you feel that you're being asked to surrender. And I still wish you the happiest birthday. It is okay to surrender. It is okay to let go. It is okay to not know the outcome. And I know as an Aquarian how scary that can be, because sometimes our mind can run away with us. So let's get 9 cards for your birthday reading, and just know that it's okay to surrender. The divine has your back. The Star. Wow. The Star and the King of Wands. You're reverse and King of Wands is reverse. This fell down and Temperance is reverse. And this is like, if you feel like you have to move forward and you don't want to, or if you feel like something's been taking too long with that Knight of Pentacles here, like change and death next to that. So this can talk about moving forward after bereavement. It can talk about moving forward because you don't want to wait for change. Okay, you've been waiting and waiting for change. The Star is your energy. It's Aquarius, but it's also hopes, wishes, health. King of Wands and the reverse can talk about, you know, maybe a person who's acted irresponsibly in a relationship. It can talk about not wanting to lose control. Okay. And then Temperance is talking about your balance of energy, and that the energy might not be in the right place at this time, but this is where you're going to have to trust the process. All right. So even if you don't like the way things are, it's about trusting the process. You might be called to take a bigger step, do something different, all for the purpose of the divine. We will clarify though. Eight of Cups is about going in a new direction that makes you happy. It's about a wish that you want to happen, something more fulfilling in life. The High Priestess, maybe there's something within you, sacred knowledge, okay, DNA codes activated, but maybe this is also something you want to do that you've sort of kept to yourself. All right, this is about your intuition. And we have the Empress. So we have 4 major arcana out of 6 cards. That is crazy. And it does talk about your direction. 2 of Wands. Where are you headed? And the 2 of Wands always talks about, and this card literally says sorry. But the 2 of Wands talks about you've already been down one path and you know where it leads you because you've been down it. And then the other wand is directing you to a new place that you've never gone before. New energy. So the 4 of Cups keeps wanting to stick around, which is like saying maybe you don't see yet what the divine is guiding you to see. We will see further though. 2 more cards and then we'll start to clarify. That's a lot of hearts in this High Priestess card. What you may not see is some love that's here. Now I have the Fool card. This is your card. It's Aquarius. And I really feel like overall it's saying you don't know where this new direction is taking you. It's a brand new experience for you. And that might be a little stressful, not knowing how to navigate this new direction. Because like I say, it's completely new to you. And it's like you would like to have a little more knowledge or foresight about this new direction. Or about this person. Ace of Wands. Because we have an Emperor and an Empress here. And if you're dealing with a twin flame, it would be like surrender and don't worry about that. Just go on about your business. Focus on yourself. Don't give them a second thought because you have to trust how this plays out. But if this is talking about you in a marriage or you in getting married, because look, the Ace of Wands is a new beginning. I have the Emperor and the Empress here. But it only happens after a surrender. A surrender. And I do see a card of some regret. Like there's regret of time, taking a long time, unless it's literally a Virgo involved. So I feel like what you don't see is there's success. There's success. And a new beginning. And we have the Emperor and the Empress. Okay, so let's start clarifying here. Tell me about the star. What is this wish, desire that Aquarius wants? Again, I've done a pre-shuffle, but this is just to say it again. This is all for February 1st, Aquarians. Two more shuffles. February 1st. Aquarius in the reverse. Unless you're dealing with another Aquarius. We have the Emperor here and the Three of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Quite literally, there's going to be somebody who wants to come around and heal things with you who did not recognize your value with them. Page of Swords. Eight of Pentacles. This is a distracted energy. So if you're distracted over this person, let it go and surrender. And then this person will become distracted by you. This very much seems sort of like divine counterpart, starseed, twin flame, whatever, high level soulmate type of energy. There's, unless you're dealing with another Aquarius, there's something about you surrendering, especially if you're spending too much time thinking about another person. Just sort of surrendering that, and then there's something that comes in for you. Now, it doesn't have to be this person comes back in, but it could, because the regret card, but also just another person. You could go on and meet somebody new or go on towards something else in your life. And that creates the environment where somebody is just sort of wishing they had done things different. But I really feel like, I mean, the Emperor and the Empress are here in the upright. That's your person. That's your destiny. Tell me about the King of Wands here in the reverse. What is that? Leo energy in the reverse. Aquarius is also in the reverse. Maybe somebody has that in their chart. See, the card flipped up and then flipped back down. So that maybe someone's been changing their mind. Yeah, here's stalemate, about a new beginning. And this is a lot of thought here about this love, okay? A lot of thought about this love, and a lot of thought about maybe there's someone who's been irresponsible or inconsistent. Wants to be with other people. I don't know, but it's like, this is a person who's just been sort of confused, okay? But this is a person who also has a lot of desire, but they haven't wanted to settle down. So it's almost like, let this issue go. Focus on yourself. The Queen of Pentacles is in the reverse, but the Queen of Pentacles has the Midas touch. The Queen of Pentacles has their own money and their own stability, but it's saying here, there's a lot about focus on work or focus on something else, but not this person. Surrender this person at this time. Maybe this person has to go off and learn some karmic lessons. They're not mature enough to deal with you. Tell me about the Temperance in the reverse. This is surrender, thoughts. about the outcome with you and this person. And surrender whatever they're doing. It doesn't matter. And surrender about talking to them. Like, whatever this person is, you're going to get more benefits by surrendering them and breaking the energy off. And for a lot of you, I am talking about a divine counterpart of twin flame. And that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Break that energy off. There's too much thinking about this person. Whoever it is. Literally, it's like everything is saying stop thinking about this person. Stop thinking about this person. This person has got to go through and experience a tower. You can't be there for that. You can't be there for the tower. They've got to experience the tower. And the tower is going to come from their actions of being irresponsible, wanting to deal with everyone else. Like it looks like they're going to have to go through a karmic lesson. And you don't even know what's in store for you. Not to wait, but really to focus on your work and yourself is what it's showing. Tell me about that Eight of Cups. Do the things you love to do, but not with this person or thinking about this person. They got to go through a tower. Tell me about the Eight of Cups. And the timeline on that tower happens faster when you don't think about them. There's too much thinking about a person. I don't want to repeat myself, but the cards are. And the divine wants you to surrender that and think about, there's something here for you to explore while this person goes through a tower, while this person goes through something they have to learn. There's something for you to explore, and it looks like it has a lot to do with your money and stability and self. Because it's going to take a while for this person, especially if you're thinking about them. And this is like dark night of the soul energy. Maybe it's something you're going through, or maybe it's something you will be going through. But it's you following your own light. But strong Virgo, and Sagittarius energy here. When you release this person, I want to say, becomes who they're supposed to be a lot faster. But when you think of them, you're sending energy to them that keeps them away. It's just really showing up strong. This is the strongest energy right now in this reading. This person has to go through something. And they're not going to experience, like if you go through the dark night of the soul, they're not going to experience it the way you do. Your awakening will be very spiritual. Their awakening will be very physical. They won't even see it as an awakening. If this is your twin flame, they'll never see you as their twin flame. Like, it's different, but they'll have similar experiences as you, if this is that. But they won't relate it to an awakening. They won't relate it to a twin flame. They won't. And you can't worry about them. Again, this is still entertainment. It's not every person's reading for February 1st, but this is a reading. If you cannot get the person off your mind, everything is saying surrender. Surrender the person, surrender the outcome, surrender everything you thought would happen with them. Just let it all go. No buts. Focus on yourself, your work, your craft. Quite often it's meant to be that way, because if this person was in your life, would you be focusing on what you signed up to focus on here? Would you be focusing on your ascension? Would you be focusing on your divine gifts? Would you be focusing on your work or your talents? If you're always expecting an outcome with this person, there's something I feel you're here to do, and you're supposed to focus on that. High Priestess upright. Tell me about the High Priestess upright. The Fool. See, the Star reversed, the Three of Cups. There's like a third party involved. And that's another reason. The other thing is this. Even if you know this is your person, even if you know this is your divine counterpart, you can't do anything about their choices. And you're hurting yourself to stay focused on them. And you're hurting them too. Because the more you stay focused on them, the more they stay off their true divine path. The awakening of a divine feminine helps the awakening of a divine masculine, but like I said, it happens in a different way. They'll just want to do better for their life. And you will have went through this whole entire death and rebirth. You won't be the same. You won't even recognize yourself on the other side of this. That's how it will affect you. And well, they'll just want to do better for their life. They'll just want better people around them. They'll want to do better things for their health. Like that's how it will affect them. It won't be anything like what you're experiencing, especially if you're experiencing dark night of the soul, depression, can't stop thinking about them, all this craziness. And what you don't know is that when you focus on that, this person wants to be in your life because you're not energetically pushing them away, because that type of connection, it's like a push-pull. It's like very mechanical, very scientific. You push, they pull back. They push, you pull back. But when it's balanced, because it's not balanced, temperance is reverse. It can't work like a smooth connection, a smooth flow. If you're always pushing, they're always going that way because it's energetic. It is your own energy. Again, I'm sorry if you're not dealing with a twin flame or a divine counterpart, but that's really where this is going. Now, focus on your money. I see a lot of potential there. And a lot of times, divine feminines go into business for themselves. And you're going to have to sit in meditation. And you're going to have to meditate every day. You're going to have to practice presence every day. Because that's how you're going to know what to do from the divine. And you have to surrender this person. And you have to focus on yourself. You have to focus on your divine gifts. Because twin flames do have DNA codes here. And that's what I feel this is. And I feel while you are focused on them, you're not being activated for what you're supposed to do. So all of this is happening and it's painful, but it's to put you on your divine path to do what you came to do here as what we would call a mission, but it's just what you set forth to do in your own chart. Don't even look at it as a mission. Don't put a label on this or any of that. Tell me about the Empress. Yes, it's time to surrender, go in a new direction. You see this? Two of Wands, Eight of Cups. This time for you to go into a new direction and stop expecting something with this person. This is how you're going to help yourself and help them. They've got to go through something. And they are making their way, but it ain't going to be overnight. It isn't. Because they have to go through their own awakening. And when they go through that awakening, they come in right away. They come in right away, ready to be. They match your energy then. So right now, this person is basically just a catalyst for your awakening. And it looks like you're going through an awakening. And it's hard, but it's going to be easier to surrender because it's a big burden. It's a burden when you feel like you're the one who has to do this, tell them, warn them, mission and all that. That's a huge burden to carry. And it's not your burden to carry. Again, if you want to help yourself, and you want to help this situation, the best thing you can do is meditate, because that way you don't think about this person. Because it's too much about thinking about a person, a situation, and an outcome. Meditation relieves you of that. Letting go, going in a new direction, having fun with your life releases you from that. And it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight, but it is. Tell me about the Fool, the journey. Starting the journey alone. Two of Swords reverse and the Moon. And it's hard to start a journey alone when you can't stop thinking about a person. But try to tell yourself, there's nothing that I can do about this. This is for your spiritual growth. Basically, again, they were the catalyst for your awakening. And having a twin flame encounter is kind of like spiritual growth on steroids. It's like taking the highway, taking a very fast path to spirituality. That's why it's painful, because you have to process a lot of things in a short amount of time. And you go through a transformation, and you go through multiple transformations in this lifetime, and when you go through this kind of transformation, you will not recognize yourself on the other side of this. But you also don't see the happiness that you have to gain from the other side of this either. Because too many thoughts and expectations about this person. Just release them. And here's the other twin flame card. Like, I have every twin flame card that I get for a reading here. It's saying stop thinking about this person. And I know that you probably don't want to hear that. I've been there. I had to take a whole course on twin flames. Again, the more you think about them, the more you hurt yourself, the more you delay your own life and experiences, your own awakening, and you also hold them up too. The Divine Feminine is the one in charge of this. And it doesn't work with your mind. Your mind always pushes away them, because this is a spiritual journey, not a mind journey. You're connected at a twin at the soul, not at the body, not at the mind. The soul observes, the mind thinks. You're going to be more soulful, doing soulful things to surrender. Again, you can't do anything about them. They're in their ego. Just like if you think you're supposed to do this with them, that is an expectation of an outcome. You're already here. You're already existing. You're already in consciousness. All you have to do is become more aware of your consciousness. Focus on things that bring you joy. Every time you think about this person, you got to detox, like alcohol or drugs. You have to detox. Whenever they come into your mind, you can't look up their social medias. You can't be texting them or none of that stuff, because you're sending energy their way. You have to release, surrender, release, because you're already connected to them. The illusion that you're not is the illusion. Your soul doesn't get cut in half. Your soul is always perfect. It's the mind and the body that create the illusion. The twin flame is like multitasking spirituality. They're down here learning lessons. You're here learning lessons. You're the same soul learning lessons. It's the fast track. Look at it like that. Don't look at it like you need to be with them. You have to do this. All that traditional stuff like soulmates. No, you can go have fun with soulmates. You can do a lot of things with soulmates, but a twin flame, you cannot have that same kind of connection, because when you feed it a lot of emotion, you push it away. I know what you want, because this is like you want what you want. What it is you can't stop thinking about is what you want so bad. And the fact that your birthday's on a full moon probably isn't helping things. It's saying to surrender here. You might feel like messaging. This person may even want to come back around to you, because energetically, depending on where you're at, if you've already let go of this person, you already went through the dark night of the soul, you've already been focusing on you, then during this full moon, this person might contact you. But if you are thinking about this person, looking them up, and you're having obsessive thoughts and you can't let them go, then they're not going to contact you. They're not. And you're being asked to surrender. That is the only way. That is the only way. Because everything here, I can't show. How many cards are saying get out of the mind here? When you think about this person, it sabotages you with this person. Because that's the way it works. The more you think about them, the more they hold back. And they also go make poor choices. But when you don't focus on them, then one day they just appear. They just appear. You just run into them, they appear. Tell me about the Five of Wands. There's a lot of thoughts about this person and the third party, them and the third party. And everything is saying let go. So I just and the thing is, you let go, and then they're going to be watching you, and they're going to be thinking about you. That's how this works. You let go of them, and then they won't be able to stop thinking about you. They will be obsessed. But the way this works, you truly got to go in a new direction. You have got to, and you're being guided to. And you're being guided to surrender, trust the divine. And you're meant to go. This helps you get closer to the divine. This helps you. A lot of divine feminine, open, spiritually based businesses, or whatever it is that they're drawn to. That's what you're being asked to work on at this time. Anyway, we're going to close out with your last card is the Emperor. That's this person makes their way back if you've done all of these things. Again, moving on. It's hard. Surrender and trust the divine. Again, this is get them out of your head. Get them out of your head. That's the only way to get this person and you to balance your energy. Because the illusion is you lost somebody that you didn't lose. Your soul is always connected. Justice and Knight of Cups reversed. Stop thinking about this person and how you're supposed to be. Again, this isn't everyone's reading, so I'll put something about twin flame in the title, but I took a whole course on this. I kind of know what I'm talking about. Anyways, we're going to close out with an Enchanted Map Oracle card. Remember, you can have a good birthday. You don't have to think about this person. You don't have to be stuck thinking about this person. Think about the possibilities of your life. That's what they're supposed to awaken you to, the possibilities of your life. My career changed. Everything, a lot of things in my life changed. I started learning more about myself and learning about spirituality and studying new things. Details in the reverse. Landed on the Nine of Cups. Part of the journey are these little details, these little things that you're supposed to be experiencing. We have 43 in the reverse. This book does have reversals, so I will put it in the upright, but it's about the details. When this card is in the reverse, it says, heed the gentle warning that perfectionism will not lead you to what you desire, but instead will steer you away from it. Nothing will be good enough when you become obsessed with being perfect or with this thing. No one can ever measure up to scrutiny, and nothing that you can ever do will assuage, I'm sorry about that word, I probably botched it, that general feeling of not being up to par. You're perfect already just as you are. There's a lot of thoughts about maybe that them and the third party, okay? A lot of times there's that, okay? That happens a lot with Divine Feminine because a lot of times Divine Feminine are older. When it's in the reverse, the details card challenges you to accept things as they are and all their imperfections, to step into the world and engage it without any expectations. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, and that's what you need to know. You are where you were supposed to be. This is your spiritual awakening. Whether you're a man or a woman, you can be a Divine Feminine, and they are also where they're supposed to be at this time. Doing all the things that I spoke about is really the only way to free your mind. But it's up to you what you choose to do. Anyway, my friends, have a happy birthday, February 1st, because you can. It is your choice. And namaste, my friends.